What's good, YouTube? Hey, listen, class is in session. Grab your pen or your pencil and your pad. I got mine. We finna go ahead and listen to Professor Agent. You feel me? He about to break down some game as far as content creation goes and just kind of growing on the social media space across all platforms, man. The video is an hour long, so I'm gonna try to take all the best parts or the most useful information that I can get out of the video and just clip it up, trim it up. If you want to watch the video, the full video yourself, the link will be in the description. Go ahead, check it out. But to everybody that's in a bag right now, getting inspired from the streamers or just already been on your grind and just need some more tips or just knowledge, you know, in order to be a great, you got to study the great. So that's what we're doing today. You got to always be a student of the game, man. I don't want to do too much more talking. We finna go ahead and get into the video. Yeah, man. Let's go.
First thing I would like to say is I know everybody's streaming, but if everybody keep talking and stuff like that and interrupt, it's gonna make it very difficult to get through this. I think y'all will learn something. Lock in, bro. I know everybody's really excited because this is a great opportunity. I bet the views are looking good. You're meeting a lot of cool people, things of that nature. But there's gonna be a long time after this where you will hopefully still be streaming and hopefully still be succeeding. So you wanna learn some of these concepts, and I'm gonna keep it practical as possible because I want you guys to actually apply some of the stuff that's going on. Before we get started, who's been here that's been streaming for more than like 2 years?
Right here.
Okay, that's about half the class. Who's a newer streamer like the last year or so? Okay, nice. Okay, cool. So we got a little bit of everything. We're gonna structure it like, quiet down. We're gonna structure it like 0 to 1 million followers. So we're gonna start with the first bit from 0 to 250,000 followers. Then we're gonna go to the middle from 250 to 750,000 followers, and then beyond that. In the presentation, I'm gonna tell you like what your team should potentially look like, what you should be spending your time, potentially your money on, and certain concepts and things you should be practicing and understanding in those different stages if you want to make it to the next and next level, all right? If you have any questions, just ask, and we'll keep it pushing. All right, nice. So first thing I want to start by saying is this is not easy.
Real quick, chat. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna keep pausing. Like I say, I'm gonna try to get the juicy information or the good information. But the cameraman, bro, you gotta get on your job, B. This is not it.
I know it's presented like it's easy and it looks really fun, but it's harder than you think. So this graph, I thought it was very fascinating, and it does kind of illustrate just how challenging being seen as a content creator could be. This graph is the subscriber count for Cenat's Kai's Mind channel. His first upload was in December. He was at 500 subscribers in December with dozens of uploads. I'm talking about Cenat. Now, granted, he was uploading as almost like an experiment to see like, he was just saying things that was on his mind. It wasn't super high appeal content. But it's interesting to think even one of the biggest people on the internet can upload dozens of videos to an unknown channel with under 500 subscribers. It wasn't until he promoted it in March where it got a huge spike and it reached 500,000. So like if you're struggling and you've been doing it for a while, sometimes it's not necessarily that you suck, it's just you haven't quite figured out certain concepts yet. So that's what I'm gonna try and click. There's a lot.
Hold on, man, because I think he kind of just skipped over that. Basically what he's saying is that Kai had a channel and he didn't promote it or let nobody know about it. He was just uploading to it by himself. And it wasn't really picking up no traction. And that is Cenat. So if Cenat can't even pick up no traction on YouTube, don't think that you special. I think that's kind of the point of this one right here. So it don't matter what level you on. I guess what he's about to break down, we got to kind of implement it into our strategies when we creating content. But that's a fun fact or something interesting to know, because I didn't know Kai was just uploading that stuff before he actually told people, and it wasn't really, you know what I mean, picking up traction or doing numbers. You know, that's crazy. That's wild. Yeah, we're gonna keep listening, bro.
A lot of people here that's like super entertaining that I see, but it's not enough to be entertaining. We all have the entertaining friend that hasn't quite hit yet. And then we all had the friend that's maybe not that entertaining that's been doing phenomenal. You just had to, like Mr. B is not the most entertaining person, but he knows how to put together a good video. So in the same way, we're gonna talk a lot about other platforms, because one thing you'll realize as a streamer, you have to be on everything. If you're not on IG Reels, sometimes you gotta be on Facebook. You gotta be on literally everything, because that's how you're gonna drive the people to your stream. All right, so talking a little about that today. We're gonna start off in the 0 to 250,000 followers. If you have 0 to 250,000 followers on the platform you stream on, could you raise your hands? 0 to 250,000 followers. You have to apply short form. I'm not even joking. Like if you stream significantly less and did more short form, you would see significantly more growth. In this current stage, and I'm gonna give you guys some certain case examples. And low-key, I wanna bust some myths too, because some people, Right. Some people have some misconceptions. So Queso is a really good example of someone who grew playing 2K content on TikTok. He was a 2K TikTok content creator. It doesn't feel like it because a lot can change in 2 years, but he was. And his channel blew up. He had some really big clips, and he was able to transition that audience into streaming.
Real quick, if you're still here, man, what I'm hearing is that we have to, which, you know, if you already, everybody should know this at this point, upload shorts. If it ain't YouTube shorts, it's TikTok shorts. If it ain't TikTok shorts, it's Instagram Reel. You get what I'm saying? We got to upload and use these multifaceted or just use these different platforms to get our content out there. I know a lot of people that blew up off TikTok in these past 2-3 years alone. A lot of people.
Hey, that was like 2-3 years ago. How about something more recent? Joe Bart. Joe Bart did a lot of like rants, commentary style content on TikTok. He was able to transition that content. He's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch right now, but it didn't happen overnight. He's someone that killed it on TikTok. One thing you notice about both of them, they're not just good on TikTok, they own it. These guys are demons at TikTok. So it's not enough to exist on a platform. To dominate it is how you make that transition. And you might be thinking, okay, Joe Bart low-key blew up on TikTok 2 years ago. Maybe a more recent example. Here's an example of somebody I found a few weeks ago. This is a guy that makes racing content that's probably not going to appeal to most people. He started with 0 subscribers, 0. He actually started with 0 videos. All he did was post YouTube shorts. That's all he did. And they were really good. I'm talking, he was getting 2 million views a short, 2 million views a short, 1 million views a short. Really, like, to me, super interesting content. If you're anywhere in the niche, then this type of content that you would want to watch.
Hold on, because I know this is not the stream quality, bro. Oh, man, cameraman, you got to do better, bro. What are we doing? No, sir, you got to lock in, bro.
Video. I took the screenshot a couple weeks ago. It had 680,000 views in 2 weeks. It is over 1 million now. His first YouTube video, 1 million views.
It's rare, though. They translate shorts and long form don't translate as good.
But it does on YouTube. No. So we'll talk a little bit about that. YouTube Shorts translates to YouTube videos really well now. Okay, so when it comes to short form, this actually does apply just in general. You need some sort of hook, okay? I'm gonna say something and it's gonna sound a little pseudo and like theoretical, but it's not. It's very, very practical. Do you guys have like an idea of what your audience wants to watch?
Yeah. Only fans.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Being able to like put yourself in your audience shoes is the biggest superpower content creator have. The same way that being able to put yourself in a customer's shoes is the best power a business can have.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. He talking. He is. I'm talking about chat. My bad, YouTube. This is not. He talking though, bro. He talking. We gotta know who we targeting, not targeting. But when we making the videos that we making, you gotta already have like your kind of like your put yourself in the viewer's shoes already before you even make the video. You get what I'm saying? You should already know who you're targeting, who you're looking for to kind of interact with your content. So yeah, that's some real shit.
If you don't have an idea of what your community wants to see, you're gonna airball a lot of shots. It don't mean you can't airball some shots. You're not gonna hit everything. But having a good hook is a good premise. So like, I'm gonna show some examples of hooks that I think are really good in different ways, and then you can start to think about how you can apply that to your content. The reason why I say that is because when it comes to short form, if you don't have a good hook, you're setting yourself up for failure. You only have a certain amount of time to capture somebody's interest. So what I would like to present is next time you're scrolling short form, next time you're even watching long form YouTube videos, I want you to think about what you're thinking about while you're watching it. What about it specifically is interesting? You will start to pick up a lot of strategies from the stuff you like that you could apply into your own content.
That's facts. That's facts, chat.
Wait. Please listen. We're not in elementary. You see people walking, we don't gotta talk to them waving nothing. Jordan.
What?
We don't gotta.
Kyle, what? My bad, bro. Kyle, I don't be hating on you, bro. I love you. I honestly tip my hats off to you, but I mean, I can't even talk because I be saying shit like that too. But what are you saying?
Most important classes on our campus. Please listen. We're not in elementary. You see people walking, we don't gotta talk to them waving nothing. Jordan.
I made it.
We don't gotta be waving at people coming in late.
They came in late. I made sure to shop.
Pay attention, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dean Cenat. If you're really popular on a platform, like some of you guys, like Alyssa, you have a face that people have seen on TikTok a lot, you can use your face as the hook. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a lot of A&P videos, we just use our faces as the hook. So like if, for example, who here is like known for something that, Dub, what are you known for?
Having a son and food now.
Okay, nice. Well, in that instance, you could use your face in certain contexts that apply to that, right? If somebody thinks you're really knowledgeable with money.
Yo, real quick, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that they are actually sitting there listening like students and responding like students for Dub to do that's some humble ass shit, bro. It take a real nigga to be able to humble himself and listen, just like how you doing right now. We both doing it. Agent is, I ain't gonna say agent regular because we see the type of level he on, but to sit back and listen and soak game, you gotta know boys locked in, bro.
When you're doing a money topic, sometimes your face is gonna be the thing that hooks people. So, you know, it doesn't have to be like a big thumbnail with a fucking red circle, you know? And then like, you just have to, well, we'll explain a little bit later, but it just has to be like an itch that you can hook. So I got a couple examples here. I'm gonna show you the good example first.
I thought we were done there, but the very next race I found myself next to him again. This time I'm driving a McLaren and in a tight battle of my own, getting squeezed onto a curb before making a move around the outside of another. Unfortunately, I get a poor exit after he taps me on the rear, putting me into the snapping jaws of the cars behind. Suddenly I find myself defending from 4 different drivers and start weaving to avoid giving a tow.
Okay, so that's an example of that's a very activating short. I can sit down and explain to you guys all the reasons why, the angles, the voiceover, where he threw it to, where he got it back. But then you could compare that, let's short that got like 1 million views, to this short, which is the same concept. Is somebody that crashed into him.
Don't you do it, don't you do it. You mother mother I make it.
So it's the same concept. He did the same thing. They both had the same experience. Somebody hit him. He's playing a racing game, somebody hit him. One guy went through the effort, again, all these cinematic shots, making sure you had no chance for your attention to get lost. Another person just played a clip. There's levels to this.
What if you don't have editing skills like that?
You gotta find editing skills. And so like, I will say, we're gonna get to it in a little bit, but a lot of the skills you hire for are actually things you should know. One, you're gonna know if someone's scamming you, if you know how it's done. But then 2, on top of that, if they're not available and for some reason you need to get down and dirty, you should know how to edit a video, you should know how to edit a short, you should know how to do all the things you hire for. That's why I know how to make lotion and shit, as the tone guys here. So I would like to say it's not always success and you always have to be trying stuff. So even the biggest streamers in the building, they miss sometimes. You can do some stuff that doesn't hit all the time, but you should always be applying the principles. So I started a gaming page. In my head, I know what does that mean. The gaming page is at what? 200, it's like at 30,000 subscribers right now. It's performing well, views per video, but I'm not farming subs enough.
We ain't alone, chat. We not alone, bro. Hey, keep grinding. He got what? Probably 3-4 million. I don't even know. I don't keep up with agent like that. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm pretty sure he got probably 2-3-4 million followers across all platforms, and even he has struggles and issues with growing some of his pages and content, bro. It ain't just one person thing. I guess it's just a whole overall. Just everybody gotta get it, bro. You gotta grind. You have to grind, bro. Ain't no fighting the grind. Ain't no easy way out of it, bro. He got at least over 4 million. I'm knowing already, bro. And he got 2,000 subscribers on his gaming channel. Mind you, it is a gaming channel, but still, his audience should be able to chew that up and eat that up. Still, he on the grind.
What should I do in that instance? Lean into shorts. So not only am I posting YouTube shorts consistently now, but I also created a gaming Instagram so I could apply more shorts. And there's actually a pretty good conversion between Instagram Reels and content off platform. Instagram is actually maybe the most underrated thing in content right now. So let me give you a couple examples of hooks.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Agent, I gotta agree with you there, bro. Instagram is probably one of the most underrated because how often is it that you, like, just be real. Like, I'm gonna be real with myself in my feed. It be people that Instagram isn't promoting that's like a big, you know, they not big pages or big platforms. They're small creators. It's like they're starting to make it, like back in the day, right? You would see people that you, you only follow. You wouldn't even see like random people. You would only see people that you follow that were in your, like, your peer space, I guess you could say. And it seemed like Instagram is kind of trying to reintegrate that to kind of spark up more stars. I don't know how to explain it, but you would normally, like, you'll be scrolling, I'll be scrolling, for example, and I see a random reel of somebody trying to be funny that might be in my city. Like, I might not follow that person, but my follower might follow that person. He might have liked the video and now I see it. So it's like Instagram is integrating something different where they are allowing smaller content or just content creators in general just to get more exposure, get more platforms. So I'm definitely going to I'm about to have to take that one. Write that down, chat, that we might have got our first excellent. I wish I could grade them all, but I ain't about to try to put that much energy into the video. But that's an excellent piece of advice right there, gang. That was a nugget.
Of a hook where the caption is what makes you intrigued in the content. I mean, I don't want to sign in, so. I think it's just the internet, to be honest with you. Yeah, so first of all, that's prosthetics. It's not my real forehead. So.
Hey, my boy, that wasn't much better, bro. Let me go back right quick, because what you got going, talk about that one your real forehead. It basically was. Hold on, check it out,
so
Jack.
first of all, that's prosthetics. It's not my real forehead.
Bruh, with the cameraman ain't on his job. You should have instantly turned the ISO up so he ain't looking like this, bro. Because it looked like he got a straight bald head, and he look, I don't know, bro.
So.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, but the premise is that once you read the caption, the bouncer says no hats, you got no choice but to fucking stick around to see why the caption says that. The caption make you want to stay to the end. And you obviously can see the hat, and just, you know, it's implied that I'm going to review the hat. But by the time you finish it, you're like, damn, that was so crazy. Maybe I watch it again. Now you loop somebody. Now you get mad watch time. Feel me? So this is an example of an Instagram mural that we posted like last week that performed pretty well. So this is a thumbnail hook where the actual thumbnail, the content of the thumbnail is what makes you want to watch. So this is a clip that I deadass post. I repost it like every 3 months. But it was the intro I did for a 48-hour stream where I came down, rappelled from the ceiling. But you don't have to know any of that. It says craziest Twitch intro. Why is it so crazy? Well, why is this guy rappelling from the roof? So it adds like some interesting appeal. Who this applies for is anybody that watch streams. Why is this better than any Twitch intro I've seen before? It might not even be the best, but it's a unique one. It's unique enough to where every time I post it, it does well. I repost it like every 3 months. But in my opinion, like now you're using a thumbnail, you're using a caption, you could use somebody's face. You could even use the, what do you call it, the description in the bottom of it to interest people. So like, don't waste space. Everything they see could be another reason they discard your content, right?
Okay, Agent, so from what I'm understanding, you're saying everything on the page at that moment needs to be utilized in some way, shape, or form, or maybe not everything, but one specific thing needs to stand out to kind of catch attention. So whether it be the thumbnail, whether it be the caption on the actual video to make them stop for I don't know, 5 seconds to read and then want to wait, or maybe it's the description. You know how some people Instagram specifically, you'll see it a lot on Instagram. They'll leave these big, stupid, dumb, long descriptions with information that does not pertain to what you're watching, but that just that's there to kind of just trap the viewer, I guess, kind of trap the watch time. I guess that's the point, Agent. Maybe, I don't know. Y'all get it? Y'all understand?
Think about the way you consume content. You be scrolling. You're not paying attention to nobody. You scroll. It could be someone you fuck with. You might scroll past it. So it's not enough to know people. It's not even enough to make good content. You deadass have to have the whole package. You know what I'm saying? Like once they watch the video, it has to be a good video, but you also have to package it to make it look like
that's
a
lot of work, Chad. We gotta work, bro.
Stick around.
We gotta work, bro.
So when you making certain videos, you have to pay attention to the analytics to see how it's performing, to see what works better for you.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get into that a little bit more, but that does apply. Yes, you're correct. So this is like, to me, this is obvious, but there's a chance that you might not already be doing it. So let's say you're in fashion, right? Let's say you're in gaming. There's really no planet you shouldn't be on TikTok. You could type in gaming, you could click the 3 dots, you can click filter, you can go by like count, and you can go this week or this month. If you don't know what's popping in your genre, in your field on TikTok in the last 2 weeks, you genuinely don't care about your job. That's what it feels like, because if this was any other context, you would pay attention. If you were an athlete, you would kind of pay attention to the stuff you put in your body. If you're a streamer, you should pay attention to the content that's performing. This is part of the job. Yo, can we quiet down, please? So if you haven't been doing it, make it a habit. In fact, what I like to do is I literally create a separate TikTok, a separate YouTube, where the only thing I do on it is research. So the algorithm specifically feeds me interesting, unique, creative stuff because that's the only thing I consume on it. So I don't watch my usual videos on there. I specifically use it just to see what's hitting, what's working.
Kind of what I was referring to at the beginning of the video. You got to study the greats to be the great. Not saying these people that's blowing up or getting these viral moments are great. Well, they did something right. And you got to kind of study and see that. So from what I'm taking from this is we got to set up whole different burner accounts, not burner, but just separate accounts where we kind of just consume content, consume and see what's the viral thing going on. Consume, you feel me? You get what he's saying? I'm trying to break it down for y'all, and it's pretty much as simple as it need to get.
Not just for stuff in your bubble. Genuinely, you'll have so many bangers if you start looking at other bubbles. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting
Taking
though.
little pieces
there
from
are
everybody
French
and
streamers
adding
with
it to your own.
40,000 live viewers that you've never heard of. There are Spanish viewers with 50,000 live viewers you've never heard of. It's not that they're not big, they're just not in your bubble. There's a lot of stuff happening. It's not happening in this bubble. You guys are in this Stream University bubble. It's
That's
mad
facts.
shit happening in the world.
That's
if you're
facts.
not paying attention to all of it, you're missing out tremendously. All right, so I would like to say, there's a good, okay, certain things you can't learn without trying. It's facts, right? I mean, sure, somebody could tell it to you, but sometimes actually experiencing it hits harder. So the YouTube Shorts to YouTube videos is undefeated. First of all, YouTube Shorts is just the best way to get subs on YouTube, okay? And you might be saying, like, this is Streaming
That's
University, why
facts.
he's coming.
To everybody that needs subscribers right now, maybe you're trying to get monetized, you need 1,000. You need to be uploading shorts, and you probably already know that. But the amount of subscribers you get simply from shorts, and I don't know why it's like that. I honestly don't understand why it's like that. But if you want subscribers at this point, 2026, upload shorts. Now, the thing I will say really quick, we're not going to take too much time from the lesson. But the thing about subscribers, man, and those type of subscribers is sometimes it can hurt you more than it can help. Because you see the influx in subscribers, and now you're thinking, oh, it's automatically going to be more views, which is not always the case, because people that subscribe for short form content typically only want to see short form content. They're not really looking to go and, you know what I mean? Unless you make a reel or something like that, or a short that kind of just hits home to them and they fall in love with who you are as a person, they're not about to go check out your channel, bro. It is what it is. They like that. They probably hit the like, subscribe, just so they can probably see something else like that down the line in the future. And they going on about their day. They're going to find the next person to like and subscribe. But yeah, if you need subscribers right now, I feel like shorts is definitely the way. It's most definitely the way. I've seen a lot of growth in from shorts alone.
My YouTube and short form so much, it is impossible to grow as a streamer, okay? I don't know if you noticed. You will not grow as a streamer by streaming more hours. In fact, you won't even grow as a streamer by making good content. You will only grow as a streamer if you're making good content and people can see it on all the platforms. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter how funny your clip was today.
Instagram, Facebook,
if niggas not
TikTok.
clipping it on Twitter and the TikTok's
Twitter,
not
I
sharing
wasn't even
it,
thinking about
then,
it.
I mean, nobody saw it. Your audience saw it, but they're already watching you. You feel me? So get in the habit of trying to share some of the stuff that's happening, not just on stream. The grind is not just more hours on stream. This is very prehistoric mindset, okay? The grind is having a moment and then finding ways to share it with everybody. So streaming, you essentially now are a content creator. You're not a streamer no more. It's a full-on content creator.
Okay, and real quick, I'm specifically I'm watching this for YouTube. I'm not really a streamer. I don't really want to consider myself a streamer. I stream from time to time just because it's, I want to test it out. But how I would translate this for YouTube creators is it's not just about how many videos you can put out. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got 1,000 videos. You've been uploading one video a day, consistently getting it out, and it's probably good. But you also got to add the extra work onto it. Put it everywhere. He said Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I don't know what else, but yeah, we got to actually package it and get it sent out. But it's a lot of work. But if you want to do this the job.
So how do you do it as to you said that people are in their own levels. How do you get out of those levels? Like for instance, Speed, right? He has a big fan base because he gets out of his level. So how do you make it so you're out?
How do you get out of your bubble? You just have to make an effort to consume different types of content that you may not particularly be interested in. It could be in a different language, it could be in a different font, but you just have to make a serious effort you won't leave it by accident. If you let your algorithm, it'll keep you in that bubble because that's the stuff you like. You just have to start consuming different things. That'll be on you, low-key, to just, teach your algorithm a little bit.
I got a question.
What's that?
Why you think Kai only posted shorts on YouTube but don't post them videos on Instagram Reels?
I think I don't know. He's been talking about starting on Reels. Yeah, he's just been off for a while, focusing on other stuff. So, but just because somebody doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad strategy, it's kind of just what works for you. Being everywhere for the average streamer works. I will also say, sometimes things apply to the biggest streamers that's not gonna apply to you. It might only work for them because they're them. You get what I'm saying? So take it with a grain of salt when you see a really, really big streamer doing something. It might not always work. It's worth trying stuff though, but it might not always work. Instagram Reels is OP. Are you who's posting on Instagram Reels here? Wise. Bro, if you are not, brother, how do I tell you, right?
It's a big deal.
Let me tell you how remember TikTok 3 years ago? That is Instagram Reels today. And especially if you have an existing audience on Instagram.
Chat, I think that's the nugget. If you leave the video right now, I think you got what you need. I'm not gonna leave the video because I just picked up that piece of game. Instagram is the way. Instagram is the way. It's the wave. That's how we finna expand our reach. I'm gonna test it out, gang. We gonna see, man. We definitely gonna see.
It's crack.
Really go up faster.
Way faster. Not just on Instagram, but it just shares shit so well. Jeremiah. You can. It depends on your niche. I would say probably don't post more than 1 or 2 times. But there's some people that post 4 or 5 times. It just depends on your niche. Some niches a lot more acceptable to spam posts. Some niches you could deadass post the same video every week for like the rest of the year.
So you be reposting your own content again and again?
You can. Like if enough time passes and a clip hit, I already post it.
Yeah. That's my question. When I post on TikTok, they flag my content for unoriginal content. If it gets clipped, my clipper sent me the clip, and I have to appeal it sometimes.
Okay, I will say, so all the social platforms don't like clipping culture. It's true, okay? And there is probably going to get nerfed at some point, most likely. They consider it unoriginal because it is technically not an original piece of content. The original piece of content is happening on stream.
It's me though.
No, I understand that, but it's still not original. Like you did it somewhere else. You're just repurposing it. Yeah. So we don't know how long this meta is going to exist for. But while it's here, you might as well take full advantage of it.
Facts, chat.
This is a
lock
crazy
in, chat. Lock in, bro. Right now, the time, I don't think it's gonna. I honestly don't think it's gonna be too much easier to grow as a content creator because way too many businesses, big corporations, they're seeing what's going on. They've been seeing what's going on. All right, my bad, chat. My camera must have stopped automatically. I don't know what happened. We back though.
Double balls get me bad, right? King.
So who cleaned that?
Chris. Nah, at the time he wasn't camera. He was doing something else. But if you notice in that clip, your first thought is gonna be like, damn. Well, first of all, your first thought is Kai's gonna be mad. But then the second thought is gonna be, well, that's a pretty crazy thing to do on stream. You know what I'm saying? The clip is actually useful to you if it makes people think I should show up to the stream. Or there's some cool things that happen on that stream. If you collect enough of those, they will genuinely start to show up to more of those streams. Here's a second example of the same thing. Is it gonna let me click this X today? So you're gonna watch this clip and you're gonna think to yourself, oh, he's doing a 48-hour stream. Maybe I should tune into it. So your clip should naturally make people want to come to the content. You know what I'm saying? In fact, usually before I do a marathon, I'll at least do some sort of simple TikTok saying like, yo, I'm surviving in the Amazon for 48 hours.
That clip ass. I ain't gonna lie. Dookie.
So point
Not
is,
my
the
appeal.
clips can get views, that's cool. But the clip should get views and make people think, damn, I should show up to this. You know what I'm saying? So if your clip got views and it makes people think this guy's a asshole, then it didn't do you much good. In fact, it probably did you some harm. There's gonna be some mad people on Twitter and shit that just think you're a way that you're probably not. All right.
I got a question.
Okay.
I feel like I've grown at least 6 clipping pages. I know how to do it crazy good. I can get reviews for all these captions.
Yeah.
Why do you think, I feel like for me personally, and I heard a lot of people, why do you think when it comes to like Twitch,
Yo, let's hear a question.
why do you think when it comes to Twitch specifically, it's so hard to grow? Because I can get millions of views and understand the algorithm on all the platforms because I mastered that. But to actually get them over, I mastered the everything that you said, but it's hard to get them over because I feel like Twitch doesn't push you out. You have to collab. So the clips to me, from me personally, it doesn't translate versus like.
We could talk about that after because being able, that's a very D's topic. But some of these concepts will help. Being able to apply short form and then what we'll talk about a little bit later, these will help, okay? All right, when it comes to understanding content, this is gonna sound like the simplest thing you heard today, but on God, half the room's not doing it, okay? A lot of people have the balls to do this part right here. You hit the live button, all right? And that's actually a big first step. A lot of people think about it, they actually don't hit the live button.
Okay.
But then after that, a lot of people skip this part.
Analyze
they fill
the
it out,
content.
but they don't actually look. They don't actually see what the chat was saying. They don't see what the numbers was doing. They don't actually analyze the content to see if it performed. But sometimes they do. And then they still don't do this part, which is make the actual adjustment. What this looks
I don't know if it's me or if it's him, but this lag is killing me, bro. I think it's the cameraman. I'm blaming everything on the cameraman, straight up.
See what the numbers was doing. They don't actually analyze the content to see if it performed. But sometimes they do. And then they still don't do this part, which is make the actual adjustment. What this looks like is, do we have any gamers in here that do gaming content? Right? Let's say you playing Valorant. All right, boom, you did the content, you analyze the content. You know your stream doesn't like Valorant, okay? Maybe it's falling out, just watch now, we don't know, okay? You actually aren't making the adjustment. I've seen it so many times where it's like people are sabotaging themselves because there's something they want to do and it's technically not in line with what their chat wants to see. You streaming. At the end of the day, when you stream, you either entertain or inform. So if you're an informative nigga, then you could, spew the knowledge, share, help people. But if you're an entertainer, you actually genuinely have to entertain. If you're doing something niggas don't want to see, you're not entertaining. You're actually just selfishly entertaining yourself. But
I think that's a big, I'm gonna listen to that honestly myself. He's saying basically, and this is streaming, but it's also content creation. But if you're not entertaining or informing, you basically need to take your ass on somewhere, bro. If you think you about to just be in there doing what you want to do and it's not really hitting for nobody, yeah, it makes sense why you're not getting no growth. It makes sense why you sitting where you're at. Talking to myself. I'm thinking I can just do whatever I want to do. Oh, I want to play the game today and post this. Oh, I want to play. No, bro. Don't nobody care, man. I'm telling myself this game. So yeah, man, I kind of figure it out. Which one you gonna do? You gonna entertain or inform? And entertaining ain't just what you think is funny, bro.
Which is okay.
What you think is funny
growth
might not
but
be
if
funny
we're
to
here to talk
everybody.
about growth and you want to grow, it has to look like this and genuinely making that adjustment.
So what would that adjustment look like?
Like not doing Valorant. Like trying something else. You have to explore. While things are going well, you have to explore so that if things don't go well with that anymore, you adjust. I used to be in the 2K community. I knew what it was like to rely specifically on one game. It sucked. If the game was ass, what happened? Views were down. Nobody cared. It didn't matter how much they liked me. They wasn't gonna watch content for a game they didn't care about. You know what I'm saying? You learn that lesson the hard way, and then once you get the momentum back again, now you start A&P. Now you start doing different types of content. You have to learn from these situations.
Everybody go through it. It's not just one person.
I have a problem right now.
that's dope.
I feel like I'm stuck in one game.
Okay.
So did you just experiment and just do other games that were popular, or what kind of things did you do? Did you do things that were just trending?
Yeah. So if you want to do games that you think have the same audience as that one, and try and create some appeal into that game. Okay. So what game do you play?
Marvel Rivals.
So you maybe Overwatch would be a shitty game to go to, but essentially, I appreciate it. So essentially you want to find a game that has a similar audience and try and create the most high appeal stuff you can lead with to make people think hey, this is not so bad.
Would you do multiple games at the same time?
Explore, what Jinxie did was a really good example. We'll talk about it in a second, where he did Rainbow Six nonstop, right? Yeah, but now he could kind of do whatever he wants. Yeah. He didn't start that way. He experimented a little bit with certain games that had similar communities, and then he was able to he's so varied, he could play any game and it's gonna pull. Gotcha. So it's a little bit of strategy to it. But a lot of what's gonna work for that is being able to see what other people did. Back when I was making 2K content, there was a few people that pivoted away from 2K content. Yeah. And I studied the out of that. I was on their page, he dropped this video, then he dropped this video, and then he went over there and did that. Feel me? But that informed me. So most of the time, the stuff you're doing, people done it before. Okay. Follow the blueprint.
Follow the blueprint, chat.
All right.
Follow the blueprint. The blueprint.
Who here is not in a niche? You just do whatever, whenever.
Me. I ain't gonna cap.
All right.
Niching is important. Niching is very, very important. It's hard. It's going to be almost impossible to grow. You're not going to build a community without a niche. It is what it is. You can have fun on YouTube, do what you want to do. Of course, hey, it's your life, do it. But if you want to build and you're just doing anything, like me, I'm a perfect example right now, bro. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, bro, niche down.
So I will say, the people that are in a niche, you have a higher likelihood to grow faster. There's other variables that can matter, but being in a niche helps a lot because it makes your content definable. When people look at you, they want to think, what's Suburb Baby content
They know what to think when they think of you.
If they can't put a word on what his content's about, they're going to struggle to with that content, straight up. When you can identify what something is, it's easier to identify with it. If I say Easy's a really nice person, I like watching streamers that give me a good vibe, I know that's the type of content that I like. You have to be identifiable. Being in a niche makes that a little easy. It's not necessary, but it genuinely helps. Let me give you some examples. Jinxie, we talked a little bit about him a second ago. He grew exclusively on Rainbow Six. He wouldn't touch another fucking game, right? Now he can play whatever game he wants. He could have went IRL. He could have did a whole lot of shit. He wasn't into that. Dashie is another good example. I don't know how many OGs here know Dashie. He's one of my favorite content creators. Before he ever had a gaming channel, he had a voiceover skit channel. And he dominated. He had millions of subscribers. It wasn't until he dominated that field, he pivoted to something else. You'll see a lot in entertainment. 50 Cent dominate music, right? Then he's like, oh, what do I want to do next? I'm bored. Now he goes into film. He dominates film. Now you can do next. Be transitioning out of the niche before you conquered it. You can, but there's going to be a trough where things look a little ugly. You know, money slow down, views slow down. You could do that. I've seen it happen. Ron is a good example, right? Where Ron had a dip, but then he was good enough to where he was able to bring it back. And now, like, I saw him at 110,000 people at 4 a.m. yesterday. So it doesn't mean you can't pivot out of niches. Sometimes niches scare people because you think, oh, I'm a creative soul. I don't want to do one thing. I don't want to be in a box. Sometimes the box is nice. And just so you know, even when you don't think you're in a box, you just happen to be in a big box. Everybody's in a box. Because you think, oh, I'm a creative soul. I don't want to do one thing. I don't want to be in a box. Sometimes the box is nice. And just so you know, even when you don't think you're in a box, you just happen to be in a big box.
I thought it was me.
Everybody's
it's not me.
in a box.
Okay, so what I learned from that, or what I heard from that, is basically you need to conquer your niche, get in the niche and dominate it. Then once you got your following, once you got your community, then you can try to pivot. But if you're not dominating first, don't try to just do anything, bro.
Duke and Speed, good examples of two NBA 2K content creators that grew to the peaks in their games before they transitioned and did other stuff.
It's putting it in
Duke doing
perspective,
lifestyle
bro.
Stuff, and Speed obviously doing the IRL.
Putting it into perspective.
Okay, this is like pretty practical. The biggest streamers are doing it, and it's not a secret. The guy that's synonymous with YouTube is streaming on Twitch. The guy that's synonymous with Twitch is now streaming on YouTube. It's not an accident. Like, they're watching what's happening and they're making adjustments. Streaming exclusively to a platform that's not paying you is just like, that's kind of like only playing on PlayStation, but you could afford an Xbox and a PC. Like, you can, but you're gonna miss out on some stuff. So you might as well stream on all of it. We're on YouTube and Twitch right now.
But how can I do Twitch and TikTok? Because TikTok.
You can do that too. A lot of people do that too.
Like on this.
Yeah. It's just like the issue with TikTok is if you say nigga one time, you're out of there. Yeah. So that's, for me, it's like, yeah. Nah, they fry you. Yeah. Kai's niche? Early days, Kai did a lot of prank content, ding dong ditches and stuff like that. He was on campus. He was doing a lot of like datey type of style content. Then he was with us in A&P, and then he started doing like IRL content. So like everyone kind of starts a niche. Kai's a little bit of a hybrid though. I wouldn't say he was in a clear niche. Yes.
I switched my niche fully.
That's good. And you.
I used to be in hot tubs with girls. I was like slapping ass.
Yo, quiet down. Everybody listen to him.
I always raise girls, mad bitches, slapping ass. You know what I'm saying? Like
We don't call girls ass.
And then
No, he's good.
I switched it to
He's not talking to you though.
Yeah, I switched it to all dude content, and I chill with the bros and have fun.
All right. In this stage, if you have under 250,000 followers, it's gonna be tempting to stream more, to come up with stream ideas. I promise, you need more short form ideas. This is what your day should look like. You should genuinely be spending 60% of your day on short form. This is not an exaggeration. This is not shock value. In fact, it might be a understatement. I would dedicate maybe 40% of your time to streaming, 60% of your time to shorts. If you don't have a shorts person, that's okay. Make them yourself.
Is that clips?
Yes, shorts, TikTok, IG Reels, all that. Yeah.
Chad, I don't want to do that. I don't like that quick attention.
It could be whatever, as long as people post it. Yeah, because shorts barely make any money anyway. All right, so this is, okay, I'm gonna do this for every stage just so you guys get a sense, because I know hiring is like a little bit of like nobody talks about it. But this is what my team looks like. So I have an operations
All right,
guy.
Chad. He's diving into something else. I'm gonna skip ahead, but this don't really pertain to me. I don't really need this information. You may need it, and if you do, go ahead, check him out. Check out the video. It's in the description. You probably already bounced it. Check it out. But hold on, I'm about to just check and see, because I don't need this information. Yeah, he bounced over to the 250K.
This is like,
chat. We ain't there yet, man. We in the ground roots. We're grassroots right now, chat. So hey, like I say, go ahead, check out the full video if you want to get just, I don't know, maybe a better quality stream. I don't know. take your own notes, do what you want to do. Thank you for taking this out, man. I tried, and I hope it comes out clear. I know the cameraman got problems, but you know, hey, hopefully y'all boys, y'all girls, and whoever is watching this, hopefully y'all was able to take some information from it. I definitely did. I know we finna go on Instagram pretty soon. You should be on Instagram pretty soon too. Just all platforms, man. All platforms. Hey, to all my content creators out there, all my streamers, my YouTubers, my TikTokers, reelers, whatever you are, bro, keep grinding. You not in it alone. You feel me? It is competition, bro. We all trying to fight for somebody's attention, I guess. But I guess it's gonna be who utilizes the tools right, who puts in the best amount of quality work. You know what I mean? So hey, thank y'all for stopping by. Watch me react to Agent teaching other streamers how to be better streamers, other creators how to be better creators. If you can't listen to him teach them, good luck.